When your follower count starts going down instead of up, it can feel a bit unnerving, disheartening, dare I even say sometimes panic-inducing, because you can start thinking, what have I said? What have I done? Does everybody hate me? Am I about to get cancelled? Because when you unfollow somebody, you're making a statement. If you don't like somebody's content, normally you scroll, but to unfollow them, that's a big action. There's usually a reason for that. So I'm gonna run you through the 5 most common reasons why people unfollow. And you know, some of these are not nice things, but actually some of them are good things. And the last one on the list is by far the most common. So the first reason is misalignment or disagreement. If you post something that is in any way controversial, sharing an opinion, a stance, taking a stand, sharing values, beliefs, maybe political leanings, maybe you're staying silent on things that people think you should be speaking up about. And this is not necessarily a bad thing because you're filtering out an audience that aren't aligned with you. And if you want to build a community, you kind of have to do that sometimes. The next one stings a little bit more, and that is loss of trust. If your audience feel like what you're saying in your content and what you're doing are not matching, they're going to be like, toodaloo. People can feel it if your content feels fake or performative or inauthentic in any kind of way. And if you start selling a lot in your content where you maybe didn't start out that way, again, people can be like, bye-bye. The next thing is that you might no longer be relatable to the audience that you had. Now, this can happen when content creators become kind of big and their lifestyles change, but it can also happen to normal creators whose lives just evolve and their content goes with it. For example, if you created a lot of pregnancy content and people followed you for that, and then you moved on to motherhood, and now you're maybe moving on to career-based content, the initial audience might not relate to that, and that is okay. The next thing is slightly less common, and that is content fatigue. If your content is boring people and you're saying the same thing over and over again and being too repetitive, they can often unfollow you. But in this instance, people mostly scroll rather than unfollow. Then the most common thing is bots and deactivated accounts. There are accounts being deactivated every single day and bot accounts being removed. And often the platforms do this in like mass purges as well. So if you notice that your follower count is like trickling down by a couple every single day, that's usually what it is and nothing really to worry about. If you know you haven't said anything controversial, if your content really hasn't changed in terms of relatability, if you know you're still being trustworthy, that's probably what it is.